What's going on, fam? It's your boy Lazy Lightsaber, and we're back at it again. That's right, we're gonna do a Nintendo Switch Lite 30 days in. So how do I feel about the Nintendo Switch now that I've had it for 30 days? What's my experience been like? Let's get into the positives, negatives, and then I'm gonna give you my conclusion as to do I recommend the Nintendo Switch Lite. So, I've had it for some time now, and if you're looking at the video now, it's the one that I did for my original unboxing. That one was actually the first unboxing that we did on my channel, so that was pretty cool. If you want to go check out that video, just make sure you log back into my channel and search for previous videos, and you should see it. I don't have that many videos on my channel uploaded, so it shouldn't be hard to find at all. And don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like the video as well. And you can comment and like other videos as well, and I will respond to those comments. I'm typically pretty good at doing that. But let's get into the positives of the Nintendo Switch. The first thing we're gonna go ahead and talk about is portability. I want to go ahead and say this thing is freaking phenomenal as far as that goes. It is small, so you can pretty much fit it into your pocket, even though I wouldn't recommend that because the Joy-Cons that, you know, if you put them in your pocket, you can ruin them. But if you want to put it like in a small backpack or in a bag, or if you know, if you're a female and you have a purse or something like that that you carry around, you can throw it in there as well. Or if you're a student and you have like a backpack, you can throw it in there with your games, and you know, you're on the go. You can barely feel it. If you have like really baggy pants or maybe some cargo pants, I guess you could throw it in there and it wouldn't be, you know, like if you're traveling a small distance, it shouldn't affect it that much. But yeah, the portability aspect of the console is freaking amazing. I've had no issues with that. So that's definitely a plus. But you know, as expected, you know, it is the Nintendo Switch Lite. The screen is the other thing that I thought looked very sharp. When you play games like The Legend of Zelda, and I'm sure there's other, you know, graphic intensive games. The Witcher 3 is one that comes to mind, as well as Zelda, like I just mentioned. But those games look really sharp. They look really crisp on the Nintendo Switch. So the screen is really awesome. I have enjoyed it quite a lot since I've had it. No issues on that side of it. And you know, with different type of games too, like I've played Mario Kart on it, I've played Mario Maker, Legend of Zelda, I've played Red Faction on the thing, I've played what else, Fortnite. And I mean, there's a lot of the games that I've played, and the craftsmanship of the actual console, I think, is really good. It feels sturdy. It feels like it's not just gonna, you know, break down or fall apart. It feels like if the thing falls down and hits the ground, like it, you know, it would withstand a nice hit and withstand the test of time, if you will. I felt like that part of it is really good. You know, and it's a Switch, so you get all the games that come along with having a Switch, if you have the Switch Lite as well. So those are all pretty cool. Now we're gonna get into the negatives, which there are some. This is not a perfect console by any means, or a perfect handheld. There are multiple things that I don't like about it. The first thing is the controller, and this one is gonna have a small asterisk next to it, only because this could just be me or the large hand community of this world, right? So if you're like a tall guy, so you have large hands, or you just have big hands naturally, you know. And you can see my hands in this video, so you kind of get the idea of how big my hands are in comparison to the Nintendo Switch Lite. I do feel like I'm kind of like squeezed for space, kind of. I can see cramping happening when you're doing large game time sessions on the Switch Lite. I haven't had extensive, like really long game sessions. I think the longest I've played on my Switch maybe for like 1 hour, like straight. But I feel like, you know, the controller, it's just, you know, it's for large hands, it's maybe not the best. But again, that's just me nitpicking. Like I said, if you have a child, or you are a person with smaller hands, or you're a shorter person with smaller hands, or you're just a big guy with small hands, hey, you know, that happens too, then I think you'll be fine for this. And that wouldn't be a huge problem. The other thing is, this game, I mean, this console, the Switch Lite, is not good for Fortnite. But let me tell you again, the Switch, the regular Switch on handheld is trash for Fortnite. I believe I did a video on it on my channel as well, which you can check out. But handheld games for Fortnite are trash. I don't want to say for all shooters, but for some reason I have a lot of problems playing Fortnite handheld on my regular Switch, and it's probably a little worse because the screen's even smaller on my Switch Lite. And like, as far as sniping, just forget about it. You're not going to be able to do it. So if you bought this specifically just to do Fortnite, like Switch Lite, Fortnite, you can, you know, but for me personally, I find it that the best way to play that type of game is docked on the TV with the Pro Controller. So yeah, which as well, that leads into the other problem of the controllers when you're trying to use the Switch Lite and then play Fortnite as well. Not a good mix, especially since you have to, you know, land tiles and build around really quick and switch weapons from your assault rifle to your shotgun, you know, back to a pickaxe. So that kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's not the best idea. The other thing that I am, I guess, gonna say about it is the battery life is not as good as I thought it would be. Everybody's saying, oh, the battery life of the Switch Lite's gonna be better than the Switch. I don't know how true that is. For me personally, I feel like the battery level might be a little tiny bit better, and I mean very small difference on the Switch Lite than the Switch. So, but that's not a huge issue. I mean, you can always find a plug, or if you have a battery pack, you can charge it that way via USB-C. Just make sure it's licensed by Nintendo so you don't have the brick switch situation. But that is something that can be fixed with accessories, so not a big you know, not a big deal, but it needs to be mentioned as well. The other thing I would have to say is the biggest problem that I'm having with the Nintendo Switch Lite, and this is more not the console's fault, this is Nintendo's fault, which is the using the Switch Lite as my primary and then using my home switch as my secondary. And I have to do it that way if I want to link both switches to the same account, because your primary switch is the one that takes over, and then your secondary switch needs constant online connection, which I won't have with my Switch Lite because it's portable. So I take it out of the house where there's no Wi-Fi, so that one needs to become my primary, and then my secondary switch, which is my regular docked switch, is the one that becomes a secondary because it needs constant connection to the internet. And it becomes a problem when I want to, I'll give you an example. So my son was playing that Star Wars game, which I had purchased online on the eShop, and he was playing, and then I wanted to watch YouTube on the Switch docked, and he couldn't play that game while I was watching YouTube, because it's two apps that use the online function, and it will kick you off of one so that the other one takes place. So you can't use them both at once. So I can't, like, he can't watch YouTube and I play Fortnite, right? Or I play Fortnite and he play the Star Wars game. If you downloaded a game from the eShop and it requires any type of connection to the internet, your primary Switch will take over and your secondary Switch will boot you. So that is a huge thing that I did not like about it. I did hear, you know, that that's getting worked on, but I don't know. But in conclusion, to wrap that up, do I recommend the Nintendo Switch Lite? Yes, I do. I heard that The Witcher 3, like this game that you're looking at right now, looks freaking amazing on handheld on the Switch. I haven't played it yet, so I'm super hyped. But the reason why I recommend the Switch Lite is because it's a good console that you can take around. It definitely has more positives. I mean, you basically have all of your Switch collection, right, in a smaller form factor that you can carry around. Not that you can't do that with your Switch, because your Switch is portable, but you know, it's even smaller now, so it makes it even more convenient. If you already have a Switch and it's just one person using the Switch, like, you know, you don't have kids or maybe a spouse or a friend that lives with you that you might want to buy it for, that, you know, can use it as well, I say you're okay with your Switch and you should stick with it. But I do recommend it if this is something that you want to look into. As well, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe and let me know your thoughts. And this is your boy Lazy. I'm out of here. Have a good one.